not just between Lancelot and Guinevere, because Arthur, I think, loved Lancelot, maybe not in the way that everybody else thinks, or Lancelot loved him, and that's why when it became time that Arthur had to send Guinevere away and Lancelot away, he was devastated, because he was losing two people that he absolutely adored. So there's all these different things I'd like to explore, and I'd love to do them. I also would love to do La Cage again, and I'd like to do it on tour over in the States, so. And trust me, you'd have a really good time. Really good. Yes?
Hi, John.
Hello.
So, were there any pranks on the Doctor Who set? And if there were, what was the best prank that you played or that someone played on you?
All right, best prank I ever played was, it's not on Doctor Who, it was on Torchwood, because remember on Doctor Who I wasn't the leader. So I respected that David, it was his show, and if I was gonna do anything, I'd always warn him first. But we did have some fun, but the best one was when, in Torchwood, the episode where Yanto throws, Jack gets put in cement, and they throw him off the cliff, and the cement cracks, and I come out stark naked. Excuse me. Houston allergies. So, the rock comes off, and I told the camera crew, now I have no problem. I think nudity is a wonderful thing that people should be proud of their bodies, no matter what shape or size you are, be proud of it, right? So I'm standing there, I stand up, and the camera's behind me, and Eve and the rest of them are coming round in a car, Eve, Gareth, and Kai, pulling round to rescue Jack. And I told the crew, I said, just keep rolling, no matter what. So the car pulls around the corner, and they get out, and I'm like this, naked, so you can't see anything. I stand up, and they didn't know I was gonna be completely naked. And I just stood there. I fluffed it a little bit too, you gotta make it look good. Well, they open the doors and they get out of the car, and Kai does this. Kai goes, Gareth does this. Eve does this. And I'm standing there like that going, dun, 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 dun. Now what was really funny is they come up real close to me and they were looking, trying to keep eye contact with me. And I'm standing there going, don't break the eye contact because the shot's on you. And I have to move forward to them. I started to move forward, and as soon as I took a step, Kai went, And I moved forward, and they all looked down, but they weren't looking at what I thought they were looking at. They were looking at my feet, because in order to protect my feet for health and safety, I had maxi pads stuck on my feet. With wings! So I'm walking and you're hearing, because you know what? They're really absorbent. Every puddle I stepped in, it was like, so by the time I got to them, it was like I had UGG boots on. They were so big. It was awesome. That's one of the best pranks I've ever played. It was, and I watched that sequence, and you can see, because they kept it, the expressions were so good. When they're walking towards me, go back and look at it, and just know, I'm standing there naked with maxi pads on my feet. And from that moment on, it became a thing with Eve. When she would be doing her close-up, the camera was over me, facing her. And I would either have to turn into shot, and it would be her close-up, and she'd do the whole dialogue, and everything she'd say, and it would be a lot of stuff, and I'm going, yeah, thanks, Gwen, great, Gwen. And then they go, we get to the last moment. You always hold it after you're done speaking for about 3 to 4 or 5 seconds, so that you get like what they call keeping it active, and then they cut, right? So in those 3 or 4 seconds, she'd stand there, and she'd look at me, and she'd go, then look at Cameron and go, he's got it out again, doesn't he? And the camera, you'd see the camera going, Always had it out for my Evie girl.